Okay, number 1, learning target number 2. Remember, learning target number 2 says I can convert between decimals, fractions, and percentages. You must be able to do any of those, whether it's percent to fraction, percent to decimal, decimal to percent, decimal to fraction, percent to fraction, percent to decimal. I think I hit them all. You have to know how to do that. Okay? So please pay attention. I want to help you guys because I know what you're struggling with. I saw it when I checked all of your answers on the clicker thing. I saw it and I see what you're doing. Okay? What are all percentages over top of? What number is always underneath every percent that you ever see? Okay? 100. So the answer here as a fraction is 154 over 100. Now, I'm hoping that none of you, well, that wasn't even an answer, but I could make that an answer. Why is that wrong? 2 words. Bella? It says simplest form up there, which means you need to simplify. Now, just for some of you that maybe you've forgotten or whatever, your calculator simplifies for you. You have to type it in as 154 ABC 100. Okay? And it gives you C. Okay? You could also this could also be in simplest form as the improper fraction 77 over 50. They are the exact same thing. One's in mixed number simplest form, and the other is in improper fraction simplest form. We cool there? Okay. I think we're all good on that one, I hope, anyway.
Maybe like a star.
You can do whatever you want. Just know as long as you got it right. If that's going to help you sleep at night, then do a star. Okay. 82% as a fraction in simplest form. What are all percentages over, Jennifer? 100. Thank you. 82 over 100. Again, I could, maybe some of you can just do this in your head. Others, maybe you need to use the ABC button. 82 ABC 100 would give you 41 50ths. Okay? It's right there. Before you ask, look. Okay? Number 3. Number 3. Write the following percentages as... Ready? Okay. Number 3. Write the following percents as decimals. Now, this is where I need you guys to listen, because this is one of the easiest things, but yet there's a lot of people struggling. Learning target number 2. They're both correct. Okay. I need you guys to all pay attention. I'm going to give you 2 ways to do this. Because some of you are struggling with this. Now, I'm not talking about 83%. Almost every one of you know the answer is 0.83. That's not where it's difficult. That's not where it's difficult. Where I see the confusion is on problems like this. Or like this. Okay? So I'm going to give you the 2 ways to do this. Please watch. This will help you. Trust me. Okay? We know that when we're turning a percentage into a regular number, or a decimal as it's called here, we know that we have to move the decimal 2 places to the left. Now, since there's no decimal actually on there, isn't it got to be after the last whole number, guys? Okay, so if I'm going to move it 2 places to the left, it's going to be 1, 2, 0.83. Does everybody see that? Now, let me give you the other way. This is the surefire way. You will never miss it. I promise you, if you follow what I'm about to show you, you will never, ever miss this. Please listen. 83%. Somebody tell me, what is it as a fraction? Amber. 83 over 100. Now, somebody answer this question for me. What are all fractions? Yes. Division problems. Can everybody say that? All fractions are division problems. All fractions are division problems. Now we can get our calculator out. So we don't have to remember moving 2 places to the left or to the right or how many places. We can get our calculator out. We can type it in. 83 divided by 100. 0.83 or 0.83. Doesn't matter. Is everybody clear on that? This one down here. Maybe some of you just memorized, oh, move it 2 places to the left. So that's going to be 1.21, right?
Yeah.
But when I see the mistake, this is what I see people doing. So please watch, because I know people are doing this answer. I see people putting the answer 0.121. That's wrong. That's wrong. You divided by 1,000. You moved it 3 places. You cannot do that. Okay? So, let's say you forget that. In the future, you can't remember, oh, is it 2? Is it 3 places? Do I just move it all the way to the left? I think that's the mistake I see the most. I think people just take the decimal and they just move it all the way to the left. Because isn't that what you do here?
Yeah.
But it's all about how many places you have. Okay? So, let's do it my surefire way that I've showed you. Okay? Sydney, you with me? Pay attention.
Oh.
What is 121 as a fraction? 121% as a fraction. Jennifer. What are all fractions again? Division problems, Shashar, pay attention. When I do that in my calculator, I'll get 1.21. I would love for you guys to do this method because I know there will be no mistakes that way. Okay? This one here. Most of you will just go, oh, just move it 1, 2. Put your 0 in. Whoops. Put your 0 in. You get 0.00015. That's hard, isn't it? That's a hard one. I would have struggled with that in 6th grade. I promise you I would have. Because you got to move it. It looks like you just move it once and just be 2 zeros. But it's actually a 3rd 0. You know how you can make sure you never miss it? Put that number right there over what? And then all fractions are division problems. When you do that, I don't need to type it in, but you're going to get 0.00015. Okay, I hope you guys are taking my advice on this. Maybe some of you could be writing this on your test. Please do. This is a study guide. Okay, we didn't have formatives when I was in high school or middle school. There was none of that. It was, here's your homework, here you go, here's your test, good luck. There was nothing like this. No penalty quizzes. Okay? Use them to your advantage. Here, I know that just moving the decimal 2 places to the left would result in 0.125. Let's just say I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay, well I'm going to take 12.5%. I'm going to put it over 100, and I know that all fractions are division problems, which would give me, by the way, when I say that, just so we're clear, that's 12.5 divided by 100, which gives me 0.125. Okay? Everybody good there? Okay, there should be nobody missing those, because I just gave you the surefire way to never miss it. Ever. Okay? Next one. Okay, you had to show your proportions here. These are pretty easy, right? Good if they are. What do I always tell you? Have I even read the question yet?
No.
Okay, what things do I want to put on this proportion then? Bella.
You have to put paper part.
You're beautiful.
W for whole.
You're beautiful.
And percent.
You are awesome, guys. You got to listen to me. This is what you should do before you've even, Haley, read the question. It starts right here. It starts here. Just get it laid out. And then we'll go and put this is kind of like edge pieces in a way. Remember when we did edge pieces with ratios and proportions? This is very similar to edge pieces because you're laying out all your information. You're saying, okay, part, this is my percent, 100 whole. I know where everything goes. Okay? So now, what words did I say will help you when you're doing these types of questions? There's a couple words that'll help. Vignesh? Is. Those will just help you. I'm not, please don't rely on those 2 words. But it'll help you on these types of questions, okay? So, what is 25% of 395? Now, what's the first thing we always identify when we're doing this? In this whole chapter, what's the first thing we always identify? Tube? Beautiful. That always goes there. Now we're just going to have to determine, okay, is the other number in this, is that representing a part or a whole? Let's read it again. What is 25% of 395? Bella?
The whole.
It is the whole because it says of. 395. We cross multiply and we divide. What do we get here? Okay? 98.75. There's your answer. I hope you guys saw how I did that. Okay? Yes, Tubi? No. Matter of fact, when I gave this, you weren't in here, but I said you will not need to round on any question on this except for the tax and tip question at the end. Okay. Next one. Show your proportion. Okay, no big deal. We start there. Haven't even read the question yet. Part over whole equals percent over 100. 48 is going to go there in the percent spot, right? Now, is 60 a part or a whole, Kaylee? 60. I cross multiply divide. What do I get here? Yep.
28.8. You stole my answer.
28.8. Okay? And again, those of you that don't have a test right now, if you'd like to get a piece of paper out and maybe write some of this down, you may. That's your decision. It's all on video, so you could wait and do it tonight on the video. Doesn't make a difference. Okay? Just an option. Okay? This is where I think the struggle happens. And this kind of relates to maybe some of you in here, you struggle with your reading a bit. Okay? I struggled with my reading a little bit when I was in school. I think that was definitely my hardest subject, was reading and writing. I didn't like it, and I wasn't particularly great at it. Okay? So I can see why these can be difficult, but if you guys take, once again, my advice and the little tricks I'm going to show you here, it's going to help you. But it's like some of you refuse to do some of the ways I show you, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. Okay? First of all, have I even read the question yet?
No.
No, but I got that on there, right? That's the first step before I've even read it. Because I see it in bold right there. It says show your proportion. Okay. Now, a lot of people were confused on this question. If 49%, I'm going to stop there. Can I put 49 somewhere?
Yes.
Can I go ahead and get that on there?
Yes.
Okay. So now I know that I'm either going to be asked to find the part or I'm going to be asked to find the whole because I already know the percent. Does that make sense? Remember, I'm going to know one of these three, or two of these three things is going to be given to me and one not given. Okay? Let's say it again. If 49% of the 600 people went snowboarding at the resort, how many went snowboarding? What is 49% representing? Okay? I'll read it again. If 49% of the 600 people went snowboarding, what is 49% representing? It's the amount that went snowboarding. Do you guys see this? So remember back in chapters 4 and 5, do you remember how I always made you put labels every time?
Yep.
We need to start putting labels here too. You have to read it. Look at it. Okay. If 49% of the 600 people went snowboarding, what this number is representing is it's the amount that went snowboarding. Okay? But it's the percent amount. Does that make sense? Does that mean 49 people went snowboarding? Probably not. It means 49%, a portion of all of them. So then this over here is always your actual amounts. On the right, your percentages. On the left are your actual amounts. So if this top, the percentage right here represents the ones that went snowboarding, what's this going to represent? The ones that went snowboarding, right? And this whole represents the total amount of people at the resort. Total. So we have to now go back and we can look at a couple different things here. It gives us the number 600. Is that going to be representing the amount that went snowboarding, or is that going to represent all the people at the resort, Anthony? You're beautiful. Yes, it represents all the people. You know how else I know that makes it correct? Look what the question asked for, guys. How many, Jar, can you please pay attention? How many went snowboarding? Because of that, I knew we were looking for the part. Does that make sense, guys?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and the answer, I think, 294, is that right?
Yes, sir.
294. 294. Now, I won't do this on every question, but I just want to make sure you guys are all good on something. Is there a way I can check myself? Sure. Remember back in chapter 4 where you had to tell me if two ratios were equivalent? There was two ways to do it. The first way, couldn't I simplify 294 ABC 600 and then simplify 49 ABC 100? It better give me the same simplified fraction. Also, could I divide them? Because all fractions are.
There's your problem.
Yes. So if I do that, I'll tell you guys right now that 49 divided by 100, I know that that is 0.49. So now I know that 294 divided by 600, shouldn't it equal 0.49, guys? Let's see. Make sure we didn't make a mistake. 0.49. You guys all see that? Just a way to check. Because you guys don't check very well, let's be honest. You guys don't do a very good job with that. So let's try to improve on that. Okay, number 10. Again, I start right here. Part to whole. Oopsie. Equals percent over 100. Okay, there are 250 total pedestrians crossing the street. If 20% of them got ticketed for jaywalking, ooh, it's when you don't walk
across the street and there's no sidewalk. I mean, not sidewalk.
Wow.
Crosswalk, that one.
I
mean, you too.
Yes, and there's 10 seconds. We're never getting back. All right.
Oh,
If 20% of them got ticketed for jaywalking, how many received a ticket? So first of all, can I go ahead and put 20 right here?
yeah.
Okay, now, again, in the actual question, what is that 20% representing? Do you know? What does the 20% represent? I'll read it to you again. If 20% of them got ticketed for jaywalking, so what's the 20% represent? Yeah, it's the ones that got ticketed. It got ticks. Okay? It got a ticket. So if that's the percent amount that got a ticket, here I'm going to be asking for the actual amount that got the ticket. Do you guys see how I'm putting labels on there? I hope some of you are writing this onto your paper, putting these labels on there, because I'm sure you didn't. This is representing the total, or the whole amount. So, now I got to go back and determine, are they giving me the amount that got tickets, or are they giving me the amount of all the people that were crossing the streets? Bella?
Give me the other thing, because it says there are 250 total.
You're incredible. Nice job. And the answer here is 50?
Yes, it's 50.
50 people got ticketed.
Woo!
Okay, at the bottom, you need to put what you got out of 10 correct. How many questions out of 10 did you actually get correct? Those learning targets? 6. Okay? At the bottom of the page, make sure you put what you got correct out of 10. Go to the next page. Okay, I'm going to go through these pretty quick here. These are both learning target. The next 4 or 5 problems here are all learning target 4. Okay, you have to visually represent the percent in the 10 by 10 grid. What does each little square in there represent? 1%, right? So if I'm trying to figure out 37%, that tells me that I've got to shade in 3 strips. That's 30, right? And then I'm going to need to shade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You must have 37 little squares shaded. 3 strips and 7 little squares. Okay? Okay, this one here, 138%. I know that the first box here, that would represent what? The whole thing represents what?
100.
100%. Okay? And then how much do I have left over to shade? 38%. So again, I'm going to use my square tool, and I'm just going to shade in 3 strips. What's that represent, guys?
30.
Oh boy. That represents 30. 30. And then I can shade in 8 more, right? So this is 30%. This is 8%. If you add them all up, what are you going to get, guys?
138.
138%. I think we're good with those.
You wrote 8% instead of 38. Oh, you never mind.
My God.
Question me. All right. Is this the next question here, number 13? Now, guys, 13 and 14, I need you to please pay attention. Because I think that I didn't do a very good job of teaching these strip diagrams and relating them to the same thing we do on these other questions. For instance, this question right here, guys. Can you guys honestly say that this right here, you can understand that this is the same exact type of question as these two?
Nope.
They're the exact same questions. Okay? Did you guys get that? Here, look what we were given. We were given a percent and a whole. We were asked for the part. Here, we were given a percent and a whole and asked for the part. Okay? Let's go back to this one now, where the strip diagram is. I'm given the whole strip represents 135. That's a whole, and I'm given a percent. So what I'm trying to show you guys is that these can be done with proportions. The model is just part of our new math curriculum, the Common Core stuff you guys hear about. That's part of it. I've never done strip diagrams before this year, or before last year. This is new. Okay, but I need you guys to watch how I'm going to do this. Before I even do this strip diagram, I'm going to figure out the answer with the model. Please watch. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to put part to whole equals percent over 100. Okay, now, I'm given a percentage, right? 20. Now, is 135 representing the part or the whole? Actually, before I ask that question, answer this for me. What is 20% representing? Bella? No. 20%? 20% is just a portion. Yes, that's 20% is representing math teachers. So what's this part going to represent? The actual amount that are teaching math. Okay? This is all teachers. This is all teachers. Putting labels on there will help you. Please do it. Please, I'm begging you to do it. So is 135 teachers, is that representing the part or is that representing the whole? Yes? That is the whole. So before I've even done this strip diagram, I know that the answer is 27. Okay? So the answer is 27 teachers. Obviously, doing the strip diagram, you have to model it now. But I'm just trying to show you that it's the same process when you're doing a proportion or if you're doing the strip. The strip is just the model of it, okay? It's kind of like, remember when we did division? There was an algorithm that you follow. Division is just multiplication by the divisor's reciprocal. But also, did we model them too? Lindsay? Did you know what I just said? What? Okay. Please listen. I know it's hard to come back after a long weekend. Get it? But please stay with me. This is important. Okay? Did everybody understand how I just did this proportion right here? Are you allowed to do that on the test? Yes. But do you still have to model it? Yes. But this is fine. This is fine. Okay? Now remember, your strips can be cut into 4 different ways. We can cut it into 50-50, right? But I mean, I can. In general, I can, right? The other way is I can do 25, 25, 25, 25. Could I do that?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go through the other 2 ways. You're responsible to know these ways. You could do it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20% sections, right?
Yes.
And then finally, what's the last one we're going to do? Yep. 10. 10% sections. You guys got to know that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, what does this whole strip represent? What? Mackenzie? 100 what? Mackenzie's? Because that's way too many. Just saying. Yes, 100%. And what else does it represent? It always represents a percent, but it always represents another thing, an actual amount. Yes?
135 teachers.
Yeah, because it says the whole strip represents 135 teachers. Now, because it says 20%, how do you guys think I should cut this strip diagram up? How should I cut it? Haley? Huh? 5 sections of 20%. You got it. You guys understand that? Guys, could I have also used 10 sections of 10%? I'll ask that again. Could I have also used 10 sections of 10%? Yes, because I know that 2 of the sections would make 10 and then 20, right? But rather than do that, let's just cut it into 20s. Doesn't matter. Okay, so 5/20. So what I did is I took 100 and I divided it by the 5 sections. That's how I learned that there was 20% in each section. Does that make sense? So what do I got to do to my teachers? Well, I got to do the same thing. I got to figure out how many teachers are going to be in each section, just like I figured out the percentage. So I got to do 135. I need to divide it by 5, and I'm going to get 27. So that means that each section is 27 teachers. You guys see that? Okay. So I know that it's asking what 20% is, so that's just one section. So how many teachers is 27 or 20%? How many sections is 20%, guys? Come on. I should see everybody's hands up because we already did the answer. How many teachers is represented by the first 20% section? Chris? 27 teachers. If I asked 40%, if I said, what would if 40% of the teachers were math teachers, how many would be math teachers then? At least tell me how you could get it. You might not be able to do the math in your head, but could you at least explain to me how to figure that out? Jake, could you explain how to figure that out?
How to figure how many teachers would be?
No. If I said that 40% of the teachers taught math, how many teachers is that?
Times 27 by 2, that
Yeah.
would be
54. You got it. Okay. Let's go on to the next one now. First thing I'm going to do is the proportion. Okay, because that is the way I'm going to teach you to do it. I want you to do the proportion first and then do the strip. Okay, if there were 80 days of summer vacation and it only rained on 25% of the time, how many days did it rain? 25 goes there, right? What is 25% representing again, Amelie? Yeah, the amount of times it rained. So that means the part actually has to be the actual amount that it rained. This would be total, this would be total. So, is 80 days representing the amount of days that it rained or the amount of total days on the vacation? Yep.
The 25%? Or the 80 summer days?
80.
Oh, that's the total.
So then you cross multiply and divide, you're going to get 20 days. Okay, the answer is 20. Now let's go back and develop our strip diagram. What should I cut this into, Kathleen? How should I cut it up? Into 4 sections of 25%. Okay, what does the whole strip represent, Mackenzie? What else does it represent, Lindsay? So I'm going to take 80 now, and I'm going to slice it up into those 4 sections. That's going to mean that 20 days in each section. It's asking for 25%. How much is 25%? How many sections would 25% be, Anthony? No. How many sections would 25% be? 1. So how many days is in 1 section? The answer is 20. You guys see how I did that? At the bottom, put what you got out of 4 on that page, please. Okay, number 15. This is where the struggles start, I think. This is where it's really, really, really hard. But this is why I want to show you guys this proportion method first. Okay, it'll help organize your thoughts. You guys got to trust me. Okay, so I'm going to do the proportion first. Percent over 100, part over whole. Okay, Mary saved $140. This is 40% of the total cost of the PlayStation 3, right? So, can I go ahead and put 40% somewhere? Can I put that on there?
Yeah.
Guys, I need you to pay attention. Some of you are spacing. I'm telling you, these are hard. I don't care. We could take them to several 7th and 8th graders and they would probably struggle with this question. I'm just going to tell you that right now. These are hard. So you got to watch. Because if you do it the way I'm showing you now, you will get them right. Trust me. Okay? Now, I see that this number right here, that's the other number. I got to figure out, is that the part of the whole? That's what I got to figure out. Somebody tell me, what does 40% represent? What does it mean? What is 40%? Vignesh? I'm just going to write saved. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Girls over there? Anthony? Jake? You guys get that? That's the amount that she saved. She has saved 40% of the total cost. Has she saved all of it yet? No, she has not. She needs to save more. She saved actually just under half of it. Right? Okay. So, now I've got to figure out, since I know that that's saved, I know that this is going to be the actual amount she saved. This will be the total cost of the PS3 and total cost of the PS3. So it's $140. Is that the whole cost? Guys? Ritubi? So that's the part, right? That's just how much she saved. Now we're ready to find the whole. Now why I show you this method before, why I'm telling you to do the proportion first is so that you can organize in your mind that that's the part. Okay? So now I'm going to cut this thing into 5 sections of 20%. Everybody's good there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what does the whole strip represent? Okay? But this is where a lot of you made your mistake. You said that the strip also equals $140. That's where the mistake happens. But I'm hoping if you see it in the proportion, you don't know the whole, do you? That's what we're trying to figure out on this one. Whereas the other ones, all we did is we figured out, we were given the whole, we had to figure out a part. This one, you're given the part and asked to figure out the whole. Make sense? Okay. So we don't know this, but I know that $140 is 40%. I know that 2 sections represents 40%. Somebody tell me, in those 2 sections right there that are highlighted, Haley, how much money is represented by the highlighted section? What? $40? I said how much money?
Oh, $40.
You got to be paying attention. That's my issue, okay? You got to be. I'm telling everybody that if you do not practice this, you will miss this on the test. It's just that simple. This is hard. Dominic?
$70.
Well, I want to know how much is in the whole thing. $140. It says that she saved $140. This is 40% of the total cost. So she only has this much saved. Do you guys see it? She only has 2 of those sections saved. So that means I need to figure out how much in each section. So I need to do 140. I need to divide it by 2. That's going to tell me that it is $70 in each section. See how that works, guys? Now, to figure out these question marks here, I'm going to do 70 times 5, which is $350. And guys, use the proportion on these, please. I'm begging you to. Because that would help you organize it. If you don't know the whole, then you don't know what the whole strip represents. Besides 100%, of course. Okay. Okay, number 16. Number 16. Josh purchased the PlayStation 4 for $300. It was on sale for 20% off. How much was the discount? Remember, discount is just how much did you save? How much was it off? So in order to do that, we got to figure out what 20% of $300 is. Right, guys? That's how you had to do. 20 becomes 0.20. Of becomes multiply. 300. The answer is $60. Now, if I was asking you the new price after the discount, you would do the $300 original price, and you would subtract the $60. Okay, here we go. Proportion time. Percentage, part over whole. Okay, 60% of what number is 30? So I'm given the percent. Now, is 30 representing a part or a whole? Remember these words, is and of. Okay? Yeah, because it says is 30. That tells me it's a part. So I cross multiply and divide here. I get 50. Okay? We're looking for the of. We are looking for the whole. Okay, here. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Again, have I even read the question yet?
No, sir.
No, I am writing this first. I know 40% goes there. 40% of 50 is what number? Is 50 representing a part or a whole, Jennifer? A whole. I know the answer is 20. Okay? And I'm skipping over the cross multiply and divide part because I know you guys know that. Okay? Okay, here we go. What percent? Uh-oh. This is one where we're actually going to be given the part and the whole and asked for the percent. Okay? So, what percent of 64 is 16? What's the part here? 64 or 16? Ritubi?
Part is 16.
And the whole would be 64. The answer would be 25%. Okay? Another proportion. Haven't even read it yet. Percent over 100. Okay? Only 55% of the children at the party voted to have pizza. Did all of the children vote for pizza? No. So I know 55% is obviously going to go there. Now somebody tell me, what is 55% representing in the actual question? What's it representing? We should all know that, guys. I've said this every time. And again, some of you I think are just comfortable tuning me out. Oh, I get it. I'll figure it out later. Well, no, you won't. You need to be, Lindsay, what does it represent? So I'm just going to put pizza. That's just going to help me organize. So I know this part's going to be the actual amount that voted for pizza. You guys understand that?
Yes.
We understanding this? Whereas this down here is going to represent all kids. All kids. Okay? So, they give me the number 33. 33 children voted for pizza. Is that going to be the part or the whole? Sydney? Absolutely. It goes right along with the 55%. You guys see that? 55% voted for pizza. 33 of them voted for pizza. So you leave pizza, people that voted for pizza on top. Okay, you cross multiply and divide, and you get, is it 60? Yeah. 60 people. Okay, start with my proportion. I have my part over my whole equals my percent over 100. Roberto answered 60% of the questions on his math test correctly. We'll stop there, put 60 in. What is 60% representing here? Kate?
That's a thing.
What? Yep, correct. So if that's the percent that he got correct, what is going to be my label here? Mackenzie? Correct. The actual amount. And I'll write actual amount just to help you guys. Actual amount. That means the actual amount of questions were correct. But we keep it the same. So now I'm either going to be given, I know without even reading the rest of it, I'm either going to be given the actual amount that he got correct, or I'm going to be given the total amount of questions on the test. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Let's keep reading. Roberto got 42 correct. How many questions were on the test? Bella, where's 42 going to go? Part or whole? Part. Because that's the amount that got correct. And you can always tell, you can always read the question too. It wants to know how many questions were on the test. Well, that's the whole amount. How many total questions? Cross multiply and we divide here. What is the answer? 70. 70 total questions. Okay, here we go. Part to whole equals percent over 100. It rained on 15% of the days on Mrs. Allen's vacation. What does 15% represent? Bella?
The days that it rained.
The percent it rained. And then, so this is the actual amount it rained, right?
Yeah.
So this would be all the vacation. This would be all the vacation. So did it give me the entire vacation or just the amount of days it rained, Anthony? Total. 40 would go there. We cross multiply and divide. What do I get here? 6. You guys see that? Are we good? We getting this? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sarah bought 12 gallons of paint for the new house. After she finished, she realized that she only used 3 gallons. Okay, uh-oh. First thing I noticed is that they give us a percentage. No, so this one, they gave us the part in the whole. Now, read the question here. What percent of the paint did she use? So what's this percent representing? The amount of paint, Jennifer? So I'm going to put the word used in parentheses. It's the amount of paint that was used. So I know this is the actual amount used. This would be the total amount of paint. This would be total. Okay? So how much was used, guys? How many gallons? Bella? 3. How many total gallons did she buy, Casey? 12. And then you cross multiply and divide. Did everybody see how I'm doing this with labels now? I did show you this when I taught it, but I think some of you just disregarded it. Okay? 24. By the way, that answer was 25. You guys are good? Okay, here's my proportion here. Okay, it says Braden got 54 out of 60 on his math test, or on a test. What percent did Braden get correct? So again, what is that percentage representing, guys?
That's the percent that he got right on the test.
So that's correct?
Yes, that is.
Correct? So what's this going to be? The actual amount? Correct. This would be total, this would be total. Well, 54, is that how many you got correct?
Yes.
54 out of 60. Cross multiply and divide, what is it?
90%.
90%. At the bottom, put what you got out of 10, please. Put what you got out of 10. I'm not going too fast on this, am I?
No.
I think it's learning target number 7.
Wait, if you miss two, wait. If
You can only miss one.
If you miss, you get a 90%. Is that something?
No, you missed one. Okay, here we go. One more of these, or two more. Here we go. Part to whole equals percent over 100. Check it out, guys. Molly Sawyer got a 96% on her last test. What is that 96 representing? The percent she got. Huh? Yeah, but I'm going to say it like this. Correct. Because that's what it means. She got 96% of the questions correct. So I know this has to be correct. This will be all or total. This will be all or total. Okay? If there were 42 questions on the test, how many did she get correct? So are they giving us a part or are they giving us a whole, Mackenzie? Is 42 representing the total or the amount correct? Read it. If there were 42 questions on the test, how many did she get correct? It's asking for the amount that's correct. Where would correct go? So what are they giving us? The whole. That's 42 total questions. If you got a 42 out of 42, wouldn't that be 100%? Right. Well, we know she didn't get 100%. So this number's got to be less. What is the answer here?
I got 40.
Is that right?
I got 40.32.
Yeah. I will accept 40.32. I will also just accept 40 or 40.3. Okay? Shh. Okay? All right. This, I'm going to use my proportion here. It says finish line received a shipment of shoes. The table shows the number of each type of shoe in the shipment. What percent of the shipment are football cleats? So I'm looking for the percentage. What's that percentage representing? The, Kate? The football cleats. So if the percent is the football cleats, what's the part then going to be? The actual amount of football cleats. This would represent the whole, which is all shoes. Okay? So, how many football cleats were shipped? 28. And then how many total shoes are there? 112. I think it's 25%.
Yeah, it is.
Not my name. That is my name. They call me Saint Sia.
Okay, now pay close attention, guys. Because this one, there's a lot of working parts on this question right here that you guys are struggling with a little bit. I'm going to go through this very, very systematically. Do we know what that means? Very step by step by step. So pay close attention, please. I know that the food bill only, when we ordered food and we ordered our drinks or whatever, it came to $35.70, right? Well, then there's a tax amount that the government takes. From everything we purchase, there is an amount of money the government takes on everything. It's a percentage. As I said, 7% of $1 is 7 cents. 7% of $1 million is a lot more money. But it's all about percentage amounts. Okay? So the first step here, guys, step 1, is you're going to do 7.5% of your food bill. That makes sense, guys? Okay? 7.5, what is it as a regular number or decimal? Yes? No. This is where you guys make the mistake. You guys put 0.75. You say, well, I moved the decimal all the way to the left. No, you move it to the left 2 places. 1, 2. Remember, if you ever get stuck, just do this. 7.5 divided by 100. You're going to get 0.075. Is everybody clear on that? Of means multiply. 3570. You're going to get, anybody remember? 161 or something? 261? Here, let's just check it. Okay?
I'm confused.
All right. 0.075 times 35.70. Now, we got to figure out how much money this is. Again, I'm counting off the rounding because we've been doing it long enough now. We always round to the pennies, which is the second decimal place, the hundredths. This is $2. That is 6 dimes. That is 7 pennies, but then it's 7 pieces of a penny. You always round to the hundredths. This is $2.68. $2.68. So, what is this amount? What is that representing that I have in yellow right there? Yes? No. That is the tax. That's how much the government is taking. So now what we have to do is we have to take the food bill and we need to add it to the tax amount. Okay, which I think is $38.38. Okay? So, what I have in what?
I got it.
Okay, what this is representing right here is the food.
Wait, I got 140.
Did I say that was the answer?
No, you said 30. No, that's only.
Okay, anyway,
Oh.
that is just food and tax. Well, now you want to tip your server for serving you all that food. So now you got to figure out 18% of 38. Same process we did a minute ago. Okay, if I can figure out where it went. So that's 0.18 times 38. Let's do it real quick. Okay, so 0.18 times 38.38. How much money is that, guys? That's $6.91. You got to round it to the hundredths. So now I've got to add 38. I need to add on that tip amount, $6.91. Who's confused?
Wait, I got $6 and
You added 6 from the tax and
I know that.
What?
Okay, 45.29.
Wait, I got
Yes.
Oh.
Not really. In real life, I'm trying to teach you something real life. Your book would tell you to find the percent, the tax on that, and the tip on that.
Yes,
Which is
that's
fine.
what I did.
I'll tell you what that answer is in a minute. Okay, just chill. But I'm telling you, what bothers me about it is the way I taught you is this way. And you guys are acting like you've never seen it. And I don't understand that because this is the way I've always done it. My thinking is, maybe I'm the crazy one, but I don't think I am. When you go out to eat, when your parents go out to eat, they probably don't figure out the percent tip on the food bill. Mr. Z, do you do that or do you do tax? You just look at the total.
Yeah.
The tax and the tip. The normal everyday person, majority of people, ask your parents sometime. They find the percent tip on the tax and food. They do. It's just the way it is. Now, our book says that's wrong, don't do it that way. I'm just trying to tell you guys how I do it and most people do it in the real world. Because the thing is when you get your bill, they've already done this step for you right here. Right? When you get the bill, the food's on there, but they've already calculated this and added it in. So what it says on your bill is $38.38. That's what your bill says. Then you take $38.38 and you figure out your tip amount. Okay? But I got to go on. Because we got to hustle here. I got to hustle. Okay, here. Anytime you're finding discounts, we got to figure out what 35%, just like that PlayStation 3 one or whatever it was earlier, we got to figure out what 35% of $55 is. That's the first step, which is what? 1925? 0.35 times 55 is $19.25. Everybody understand that? $19.25. There it is. And then you need to subtract the original amount, $55. You need to subtract your discount to get $35.75. Okay? Everybody see that? Are we good? No learning target for B. Because it's really not listed in there, but you should know how to do it. Okay, for this right here, if I can find it, here's this information right here. Okay, all these are worth their own individual point. Learning target 2, learning target 2, learning target 2, and learning target 2. Okay, 0.625 is 5/8 as a decimal. 62.5% is that number as a percentage. 3/40ths is the only thing I'm accepting on that. We'll talk about why tomorrow and Monday. Okay? And then this is 7.5%. That is worth 4 points. Okay? So now at the bottom, put what you got out of 11 on that page. Or is it 11? What's at the bottom of yours?
Oh wait, so was 27 right or wrong?
Wait a minute.
If you found the sample out using.
Let me find it. Hold up.